Hi, I'm Erik Linask from TMC, and I'm happy to welcome you once again to this video series from Ingate Systems, the Ingate Knowledge Base. I'm here again with Ingate's President Steven Johnson. Welcome again, Steve.
Hello, Erik. Good to see you.
So last week you talked about SIP trunking and the benefits that can produce both cost-wise as well as a little bit about how it works. Now, this week we want to talk about network address translation. Can you get us started on that? What is it? Why it's important?
Sure. Network address translation is a mechanism that was developed as we all became much more proficient, or prolific, I should say, in the use of the Internet. And we also implemented firewalls at the edge of our networks to protect everything that we had now available on those networks from hackers and from those people who wanted to do damage to our networks or who just wanted to snoop in our networks. So firewalls were invented 15 or so years ago, or became prolific at that time, and we became very prolific with the number of devices on which we wanted to have an IP address that we could actually connect up to the network. Someone was just telling me the other day that they bought a new refrigerator, and one of the things that they had an option for was to have access to the Internet. Why, I don't know, but that shows you how prolific we have become. So we've had to create what is known as IPv4. IPv4 today takes the number of available, creates a listing of routable IP addresses that you can actually connect between points over the public Internet. And because of the number of actual digits available, there's a limited amount of those available to the world. We have many, many more devices than that will allow. So in the firewalls that are at the edge of all of our networks, we have what's known as network address translation, which takes those publicly routable addresses and converts them into addresses only usable on the inside of our local area network. So therefore we can multiply what is one address at the outside of your network to hundreds or thousands of addresses on the inside of your network, all of which can be assigned to a computer, a laptop, a server, or now telephones. IPv4 will eventually be replaced by something called IPv6. IPv6 expands the number of publicly routable addresses by multiple times, but IPv6 is a long ways off in most people's estimation before it's available widely. In the meantime, for SIP and for voice over IP, this natting that is done by the firewall at the edge of your network is a problem. First of all, it is done at layer 4, and you can see that on the chart that we're going to show you now. Layer 4 is a transport layer, and this is where these addresses are translated from the public to the private side. SIP, on the other hand, is at layer 7. So if you're translating these addresses, is an immediate problem that you have to resolve before you can implement SIP, SIP trunking, or voice over IP. That means we have to do a NAT translation. We have to know, with a device at the edge of the network, how we can resolve from Erik at TMC.net, for example, if that's your voice over IP address. We have to be able to first address that to TMC.net, and then at the edge of the network we have to convert that to get it to your IP address where your telephone is on your desk. That is what's called Nat Traversal. That is the function, or one of the functions, of the Enterprise Session Border Controller, similar to what Ingate produces, that makes that translation, at the same time ensures that all of the controls you've established around your network remain in place, and that all of the SIP traffic that is received through this device is in fact valid, appropriate, and something that you want to get from a person that you want to get it from. All of that is accomplished in the Enterprise Session Border Controller, enabling you to bring SIP into your enterprise.
Excellent. Thank you, Steve. Now that you've heard what network address translation is, why it's important, how it's accomplished, join us next week when Steve Johnson, president of Ingate Systems, will get us into a little more detail on exactly what Ingate's role is in SIP-based networks. Steve, thanks for joining us. I'm Erik Linask from TMC, and this has been the latest of Ingate's knowledge-based sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.